Hi, I'm Callie and welcome to Kapowski Reads and welcome to my April wrap-up month in review. I'm not fully married to the title yet, but basically I'm going to be wrapping up April. What I read, what I used, what I enjoyed. I'm going to go through the books that I read, my reading stats, empties and my favourites, plus any achievements from the month. That's the plan. So let's start with books. I finished 11 books this month. I do not have my notes. They are downstairs. I'm upstairs. I'm not going to go get them. I'm going to just add a little graphic of my page total. I think it was like in the high 3,000s, just under 4,000. So I feel I'm getting kind of back into the swing of reading. I've just been a little bit exhausted. So back to reading a little bit more like I used to before. I managed to read 8 books from my actual physical stash, which was excellent. I'm going to go through them, but most of these have got their own vlogs, so I'll just be quick. So first up was The Gilded Wolves. I have a vlog for this book. I love this book. I need books 2 and 3 like now. Not now because I'm on my lunch break and I can't sit and read them, but I need them as soon as possible. Next time I'm buying books 2 and 3. I love this series. I did a reread, so that actually means I had 7 physical books from my stash because I don't count rereads. I reread A Feature to the Beast and the Beast Is Me by Jameson Shea, and I loved this book just as much on read 2 as I did on read 1. I love it. I have got a vlog planned for this book, so that will be coming up, hopefully, like quite soon, maybe, coming up in May. I've got a plan. I also, throw that on the bed, I also read book 2 in the duology, I Am the Dark That Answers When You Call, and this is going to be in the same vlog, so I'm not going to say too much about it now, because I'm being sneaky. I read Luster. I really enjoyed this, but I'm not going to be rereading this. So I'm going to put this in my unhaul pile, but I want it noted. I really enjoyed it. I just don't think I'm going to reread it, but I did like it a lot. I read Toxic and I adored this book. It filled me with rage, so much rage, and a floppy paperback. But I had a fantastic time reading this. It definitely was the exact kind of non-fiction I like to read. I love anything that's kind of pop culture from like the mid-90s to I would go to the late 2010s. No, I wouldn't. I would go to 2010. And it covered a lot of instances that I was aware of, but it just looked at the impact that the media had on these women and as a result on women who weren't even famous, on everybody. I think this was a very, very important read and I loved it. What I didn't love was Whose Body by Dorothy L. Sayers. I hated this book. It's going in my unhaul pile because I didn't like it. That's pretty much it. And I have 2 more non-fictions. I have Let's Get Physical, which is basically about the history of women and fitness. And it was fascinating and it was very, very emotional, which I didn't expect. I didn't expect to be crying about women doing running races. I don't like running. I don't want to run. I'm not gonna run. But I love that these women got to run and I love that for them. But it was just such a passion-filled book and it was so super interesting. And my final book from my physical stash was Die Hot with a Vengeance, which is essays on vanity. I love this book. This is actually my book recommendation for April that nobody's asked me for. Nobody asked me for my book recommendation of the month, but I'm giving you it. Please accept with my compliments. This book, I loved it. The author is like my age, so a lot of her experiences growing up kind of overlapped with my own when it came to sort of pop culture and peer pressure and that kind of thing. I thought this book was just so poignant. Like, I felt seen. Sable Young is a beauty editor and a very, very funny writer. I really enjoyed it and I highly recommend this to everybody. I have an absolute ton of empties this month. I think last month I'd said that I was so close to being finished with a bunch of things. Somebody's whistling outside my house in a way that's kind of like they're trying to get attention. Not from me, but it is getting my attention and I keep getting distracted. So I don't know if the whistle will get picked up, but that's happening. I did mention last month that I was so close to the end of a whole bunch of things. So I thought that my empties box would runneth over, and it does. It's quite full. So I think I'm just gonna go through the things that I liked out of this rather than bore you to tears with every single item. I may also mention the things I disliked. So loved, hated. The things in the middle, sorry, next time you'll get a mention. That's the thought process. So I absolutely loved this, which is Ted Baker moisturizer. It is rose and cassis. It is the most amazing smell. It is my second favorite Ted Baker smell. My favorite is violet and iris, I think. I'm wearing it now. You can't smell through the screen, but if you could, it smells really good. That's been discontinued though, so kind of raging about that. But this moisturizer is amazing and it smells really good. So if this hasn't been discontinued, I will buy it again. Imagine this is filled with the most gorgeous lilac-y coloured bubble bath. And that is what this is. It is vanilla and lavender bubble bath. It looks really luxurious because it's in a big glass bottle, but it's just Boots own make. And I think it was £6 and it's like, it's massive, but I loved it. Lasts forever. I think I got this in December. Yeah, I got it at Christmas. Amazing. Love it. I finished the Pixie tinted lip balm that was one of my favorite things from last month. I knew I was gonna. There was hardly any left. I love this. The colour did nothing for me, but it made me happy. You don't have to always wear colours that suit you, as evidenced by me wearing this yellow jumper, which does nothing for me, but it makes me very happy. And the last things I enjoyed were some sheet masks. I feel a bit silly sort of keeping the packages of my sheet masks, but I like to keep everything so that I know how much I've used, and then I have a spreadsheet. I'm a very fun person. I love a sheet mask. And just one thing I didn't like and wouldn't recommend is this SPF from Boots. Again, I love the other types of SPF in this range, but the anti-pollution one just feels, it's so thick and it just pills. And I know that's maybe I'm using too much, but it just, I use this the same way as I use all the other ones, and the other ones are great, but this one does not work for me and I don't like it. But there's like 4 in this collection and they all look the same. So when I get this one, sometimes I don't realize I've got the wrong one and I'm very sad and stuck with it for a month. Everything else was just kind of okay, apart from my deodorant, but you don't need to know about my deodorant. I love it. I've used the same deodorant for like 10 years. I'm not changing. The one time I did change, I stained my underarms and I'm still really annoyed about that. And that's been like 5 years. I'm going to move on to my favourite things now. I realise this video is maybe a little bit shorter than possibly my usual wrap-ups of the month. I just really wanted to include all of the books and I didn't want to bore anybody with all of my empties. I don't know, maybe I'll go back to including every empty next month. We shall see. I'm just always conscious sometimes I go on and ramble. Favourite things of April are brownies. I'll pop a picture up. Don't know where I'm going to pop it. Here or here. I got some amazing brownies / blondies from, there is a cute bakery in Aberdeen called Fat Batch, which makes me giggle every single time. I got a pistachio and raspberry blondie and it was the most amazing thing ever. I could only eat half of it because it was far too sweet and I really don't have a sweet tooth. I am very much a savoury girl, but this was amazing. And the fact that I can't really digest dairy meant that it worked in my favour that I didn't eat the whole thing, because I would have been extremely unwell. But instead, I was just very, very happy with the gorgeous flavour. And speaking of gorgeous flavours, my other favourite thing of the month is a tea. This is, oh my god, it smells really good. It's called Peach Perfect. It is a tea blend. There's no tea, it's just dried fruit and floral pieces. Yes, there's rose petals. So this is peaches, pineapple, rose petal, apple, papaya, all of the just delightful summery fruits dried in a tea. And the person in the shop when I was buying it recommended having it iced with mango, mint and lime, and I did that. It is a taste sensation. It's just so good. I actually froze some of it, so I've got ice cubes that are peach iced tea. Well, it's iced tea because they're iced. It's peach tea flavoured ice cubes. Amazing. This, I've already used half of it. I loved it. I don't feel like I have any, this sounds really sad, I don't feel like I have any achievements for April. It's end of year, and for anybody else who works in a kind of financy department, you'll be aware end of year kind of sucks. So the fact that I've gotten through it, that's my achievement. I survived. But I don't think I've really had any great achievements or anything of note in April, which is kind of sad, but also kind of okay. I'm fine with that. I'd love to know what your favourite books of April have been, and if you have any favourite things that you want to recommend. I'm always interested to hear. Thank you so much for watching. I'm sorry this feels like I've been rambly. This is what happens when I film on my lunch break. I feel like I have to just speed it up because I need to get back to work, and I should just take my time because I already talk quite quickly. I'm overthinking things. I always do. Thank you so much for watching.